Hi everyone tuning in. This is our Thursday night Q&A sessions. So today is with the Head of Communications of Coral Gardeners, Marie-Céline. Oh, she's online now, so I'm just going to add her now and hope the internet holds. Hi everybody. Just wait 2 seconds. Hiya!
Um,
How are you?
Good, and you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Lovely background you got there.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get ready and like give them the amazing view here. It's not a fake one, I swear.
It looks like one of those ones that you'd have as the background that you like buy on an
Exactly.
apple or something. Pretty impressive. It's dark here, so I can't show you any views here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's beautiful. So, do you want to introduce yourself for our followers and people who might not know what you do? Do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Marie-Céline, which is pretty difficult. So everyone calls me MC. It's way easier, or MC if you want the French way. I'm 28 years old. I'm French. And I'm calling you right now from Moorea, which is the sister island of Tahiti in French Polynesia. Because now I'm working for Coral Gardeners. I hope you can see the logo. It's an organization that works to save the reefs in Moorea, and also we're raising awareness all around the world about coral reefs and their extinction.
Awesome. And for people tuning in that might not know what Love the Oceans is, so we're a marine conservation organisation. I'm the founder and we're based in Mozambique. So we're talking to you from two completely different time zones. And it's the evening for me and the morning for MC. We basically, our mission is to establish a marine protected area here. So usually we would be doing lots of different areas of research and community outreach, but obviously COVID has changed what our normal activities look like. So we have had to put a stop to our research and community outreach temporarily while COVID gets under control. So we've started to do this online series every Thursday and invite awesome guests like yourself on and talk about all things conservation. So welcome.
Thank you.
So we got sent through lots of questions beforehand. If you're cool with it, should we just jump straight into them?
Go for it. Ready?
Awesome. Okay, so the first question is about how you got into your role. What's your background?
Sure. So I have first a basic French story. So in France, you really most European country, like if you need to study, you need to do difficult studies. You need to study maybe mathematics and go to a math school or do business school and so on. So fun fact, when I was younger, my dream was to be like in The Devil Wears Prada. Like I was really, really into fashion, and my dream company was LVMH. So long story short, I did it all so I could arrive at LVMH, and I made it. So then I arrived there and I realized, okay, this is not what I want to do. Like it's not at all what I want to do in the end. So it was kind of, okay, you worked so hard to arrive in fashion, and now you're like, okay, I don't want to do that. So I went to Thailand to do an MBA, more into digital communication. Like I started to go more into like social media and communication rather than marketing and luxury. And after this MBA, I was like, okay, what do I really love? And it's sports. Sports is a big, big part of my life. So I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to Adidas, which was my new dream brand. And lucky me again, I got in, and then started 3 years and a half of an amazing experience. I'm super grateful for what I learned at Adidas. I worked for Adidas Women, and then I was in charge of Adidas Runners. If you want to join the running team, they're all around the world. Amazing experience, but at some point, my little voice, my little consciousness was like, okay, you're still working for a really big group. Are you pretty sure you're having like a real positive impact on Earth? And I was like, okay, no. So in 3 months, I resigned, like the dream job, good salary and everything. I was like, okay, I'm going to resign. Yoga was also a big part of my life. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to India. Loved India, already been there twice. I want to go back and I want to become a yoga teacher. And I did it. So I went to India for 3 months. I became a yoga teacher, Vinyasa Ashtanga. And just before, like when I resigned, a friend of mine, big up to Clara, she worked at Coral Gardeners, and she saw, thanks to social media, that I resigned. So she was like, okay, MC, regarding your profile at Coral Gardeners, we're looking for a head of communication. Would you be interested? And at first, I have to say, I was more into Africa, children, women's rights, maybe Latin America, like education. But I was like, listen, I'm just here to help any organization with a great purpose, so I'm in. And so in January, I just arrived here and joined the Coral Gardeners crew. And it's an amazing story also. So yeah, that's how I arrived here, like up and downs, but now I'm here and love it.
So you're happy where you are at the moment?
Yes. I mean, can I complain? Like, seriously?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Can't really complain about that kind of setting. Is the island big that you're on, or is it very small?
No, it's like 60 kilometer, like with a car. So it's
Wow.
pretty small, like in less than an hour, you're done.
Yeah.
But it's nice, like it's still human. I mean, we're missing a lot. I miss a lot, like museums and activities and different restaurants and stuff. But you have nature all around, so it's really nice.
Yeah, I feel like some of the remote places in the world that are really beautiful, like we have the same here. We have amazing like landscape and sea and stuff, but there's not a lot going on otherwise. So sometimes you can miss like the cinemas and things like that. But it's worth it because you get to see. Exactly. Okay, and then that's kind of like links to another question that was submitted around like your degree background and things like that. So you said that you didn't do like ecology or anything like that. Do you think that that will be something that you want to do in the future, or where do you see like your future kind of going with this?
So my aim is, so thanks to my experience, I learned a lot. Like I had the chance to go to YouTube headquarters, Facebook, Instagram, travel, work with amazing experts and so on. So I was like, okay, now I want to use this expertise to help organization, NGOs like that want to help the planet or people. Like in the end, we all want to save the earth because we need the earth to live. So I didn't do at all background in biology, marine biology. I was always aware of it. I was always the eco referent in my school, like super into it. I'm vegetarian since 12 years, like all this kind of thing. But to be fully transparent, when my friend called me and was like, hey, I'm working for Coral Gardeners, I didn't even know a coral was an animal, how it works. But I just knew it was essential for the oceans, and we need the oceans to survive. So I was like, okay, I'm going to help this organization. But in the future, so if someone is telling me we need you in Namibia to help women through sports, I'm like, okay, I'm coming. If someone in Amazonia is like, we need to save this species of tree, I'm like, okay, I'm going. Like, it's just how can I use my expertise and my life to help a good cause.
Well, it's a diverse skill set that you've got. It means that you can switch between different causes, and loads of organisations need help with communication of science as well, of loads of different things, but science especially. Scientists are terrible generally at communicating what's going on, so having someone that knows how to do that is always useful. So so that also links to the next question, which is around like how much you've learned since you've been at Coral Gardeners. And well, you've said that you didn't know that much about corals beforehand, and I think your story is a really good testament to people being able to like change what they're doing and just do what you love, and staying true to your heart. So have you been on like a big learning journey? Like what's the last kind of 6 months, 8 months look like for you?
Yeah, I've learned so much. I remember the first months at this time, our scientist, she was called Mathilde. And, I was just knocking on her door like, I'm so sorry, I have like so many questions. So I just really needed to like understand everything, because in the end, when the media is asking something, I'm replying. I'm the point of contact for ambassadors, media, press, comms, marketing, and so on. So I needed to be able to reply to at least the basic questions. So I've learned so much. Thanks to Mathilde, now we have a new scientific, she's called Evelyn. Thanks to Titouan, the founder. Thanks to every member of the team, I've learned so much. And now I really think I can talk about corals like a long period of time. And it's just fascinating. Like to start again learning something completely new is just so interesting. So yeah, I'm super lucky about that. Now I know about corals, and I'm already looking forward to Christmas because I'm definitely going to talk about this to everyone. Like at the table, I know the topic, corals.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're pretty amazing. So you've been on like a crash course essentially with like a few different tutors in in coral biology and learning about that. Because I guess there's a large part of your job is that like replying responsibly to people's comments and like knowing the ins and outs so that you can respond quickly and things like that.
Exactly. So we have like a FAQ that we built with the scientists in our team and with people who came from the exterior also. So 90% of the time it's the same question. So we reply, we have scientific replies. And if we have any doubt, like we're 15 people at the same spot. So I just need to know to go to the scientist and she helps me to reply.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, then someone has asked, can you just tell us a little bit about what Coral Gardeners does and like what their kind of role is?
Sure. So Coral Gardeners is an organization that was created 3 years ago by someone called Titouan. So it was created by kids of the island. We say like really young people. They were 19 at the time, and they are surfers. So one day they went surfing. They realized that corals were white under their feet, and they were like, okay, we've never seen that. What's happening? So long story short, they learned about it. They realized how important corals are. And Titouan was like, okay, we need to act now. So he created Coral Gardeners. And I would say we have 3 main pillars. So the first one for sure is reef restoration. So we have reef restoration team that goes almost every day into the water. And we have 2 main restoration techniques. I guess your audience is into ocean, so I can go more into details. So the first one is fragments of opportunity. So they pick up fragments that got of coral still alive that got broken by, I don't know, tourists, waves, boats, and everything. Then they place them onto our nursery tables. And then when they're ready, like when they start growing again, they take them and they cement them back onto dead reef. So this is like the majority of the corals we have replanted since the beginning of the organization. But now we also have a new technique we're implementing. We realized that if we plant fragments of opportunity again and again and again, and if there is a new bleaching event, maybe all of this was for nothing. So now we have the super coral technique. So super coral, it's kind of a very vague name, especially in the scientific community. So what we need to do is just tell what's our definition. So our definition is a coral that survived to a past bleaching event and that will spawn again. So the past month, they did monitoring. So they went onto the reef, they tracked everything, and they spotted those super corals. So now we're actually right now creating all of that. So we are going to go to the super corals. We're going to take a part of the colony, less than 10%. So it's going to be a bigger coral and not just a fragment, but like a real coral. And then we're going to place those super corals onto our nurseries. They're going to stay minimum a year there. And once they're grown enough, we're going to fragment those super corals and put those fragments back into the reef. And more through the months and years, we really hope that we are replanting only what we think are more heat resilient corals. So this is it. Like this is the reef restoration team. They do the monitoring. We call it fitness monitoring, which I think is pretty fun. So they monitor, they plant corals, they pick up fragments, they take care of the super corals. So this is the first pillar. The second pillar is awareness, communication. We're aware we're not going to save the reef just by planting some corals on Moorea. So for us, awareness is a big part of what we're doing. We are using a lot social media, communication, PR, because we want every single person on Earth to know what a coral is, and if they want to realize their impact on climate change and change their habits, so we can all lower our impact and all together save the reef. And we have a great concept, so everyone can help us by actually adopting a coral. It's our main way of financement. So you go on our website, and for €25/$30, you can adopt a coral. You can give it a name, you receive an adoption certificate. So we took pictures of every single coral we planted. So then we attribute you a coral, so you receive like a beautiful certificate. In the middle, you have the picture of the coral. You can give it a name. You have the localization of the nursery table, like the coordinates. And it's like first super nice for you because it's like an easy way to help. And then it's such a nice present. Like my mom, she bought like already 5 for like her friends when she goes to dinner or for birthdays. So super nice present. And the last pillar that we are really developing since 6 months, I would say, is like what we call innovation center. We're really going to try to bring innovation and new technologies into marine conservation and reef restoration. So it's like live cameras, drones, all this kind of thing. So we're just starting. It's going to be big, but it's like all new, but it's now definitely a new pillar for coral gardeners.
That's really exciting. Yeah, we have a similar scheme with our whale shark research where you can adopt a whale shark because you can identify whale sharks individuals. So we have a similar scheme, and schemes like that are so important to be able to help fund all of the research because marine conservation is notoriously underfunded industry. So people watching, go and adopt your coral and help with marine conservation efforts. So it's really amazing what you're doing. Getting every person on Earth to know what a coral is, that is quite a quest. That is a lot of work you've got ahead of yourself.
Or at least everyone who has access to like digital, like everyone who's on Instagram should know what a coral is.
Yeah, it's true. It's just trying to reach them. Cool, okay. And why do you love corals? Someone's asked.
So I realized how important they are for all the ecosystem. Like first of all, corals are animals, and it's amazing how they live together. So it's a polyp living with a zooxanthella, like an algae, and together, like the algae gives energy to the polyp, and the polyp is building the calcareous skeleton. And just to think that all those micro things that you think are rocks or look like rocks, it's actually thousands of little animals that are building the habitat for like thousands of marine species. And thanks to all of that, we have the oxygen. Like it's just like the base of so many things. And I mean, I don't even talk about colors and shapes. And when you go micro with the camera and you can see what's inside, you're like, it's insane. So it's just an insane magical world that we don't even guess at first. And then the deeper you go, the more you're like, okay, it's so impressive. So I think that's what I like into corals. It's like constant surprise of things you didn't even expect.
Yeah. Corals are pretty amazing. I found that a lot of people seem to think that corals are plants, and so it's always quite interesting to open people's minds and talk about corals as animals and living in colonies. We've actually just had a question submitted. I think that it should come up. There we go. Is it difficult or time-consuming to grow corals artificially?
So, to be fully transparent, I do not have the answer because we do not do it here. And also we're partnering with the CRIOB, which is like the French expert laboratory about corals. And from what I remember, they are not doing that. So I don't have the answer.
Yeah. Well, I assume by artificially they mean in a lab rather than in the sea, in like the nurseries themselves. I don't know enough about coral gardening to know. We don't do coral gardening here. It's an area that we might expand to in the future, but we don't do that here. So
if by artificially, on the nurseries, then you're gonna gain, I would say, this a year, because it's what we're gonna fragment after. So it takes time. Definitely takes time.
Yeah, definitely. Corals are notoriously slow growing. Someone said, do you have to speak French to work or volunteer at Coral Gardeners?
No, I mean, depends. Like if you're chief of staff here, like you're supposed to organize everything locally, definitely. But me, like my job, I could be speaking only English, and it would work.
Nice. Okay, cool.
We have people we have one from England, and we have people from Canada, US, so it's visible.
Nice. How big is your team? Is it quite big, or is it a small?
We're
small
15 team now.
Okay, so pretty medium-sized.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Okay, and then do you have a favorite coral?
I like the fire coral. It's like a yellow one. You're not supposed to touch it. Like it's gonna burn you. But I think it's the shape, and I love yellow. But like the shape and the color, I really like it. And it's something here. Like it's my favorite coral here. I'll make sure to find favorite corals in my future trips. But here, I really like this one.
Had you been to like this area of the world before you moved fully there? Had you ever visited?
Yep.
So you just
never
up sticks and went and hoped for the best.
I was not such a big risk. Like, okay, it's far from everything, so I miss my family and so on. But I mean, I knew what it looked like, so you're like, yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Fair enough. Okay, and then someone's asked actually, does Coral Gardens have any internships or like volunteering opportunities or anything like that?
So at the moment we have 2 jobs openings. We're actually looking for this administration person locally. So if anyone locally is watching, we're looking for someone. And we're looking for e-commerce sale experts, because we really need someone to help us like push the adoptions through all the tools you have on digital. So those 2 offers are the actual ones. They are on the website. Every offer we have in the future are on the website. And to be fully transparent, we don't take internships and so on anymore, because we have so much work, which is amazing, like super good news. But we don't have time to welcome people, assign a manager, and then this person is leaving 6 months after or less. So at the moment, we don't take internships. But there is a file online, so where you can freely apply. I don't know you say it. So yeah, if people want to join and want to apply, it's all online. Like there is a section.
Nice. Okay, cool. And what's your favorite part of your job?
I think to feel useful, like to know that my job is still to be a lot on my computer, on conferences, on my phone, but at least I know I'm spending this time for a good cause and to have a positive impact. So I think it gives sense to spending hours working. And the view. I mean, I'm actually working with this view, so I'm not going to say it's not a big part of the job. But yeah, I would say to feel useful and to get to know more about corals was also super interesting.
Yeah, I think the environment that you're in, you can't really, it's pretty amazing. It's the same here. That's probably my favorite part of the job, is being able to enjoy such amazing surroundings. And do you have a lot of like megafauna? Do you have much sharks or anything like that in your area?
Yeah, oh my god, and now it's whale season, so it's like amazing. Like sometimes just here you can see whales pop up. Like, so whale season at the moment. We have dolphins, we have a lot of black tips, we have lemon sharks, like just on Moorea. And then if you go to other islands, I was super lucky, I dived with tiger shark, hammerhead shark, white tip. Like we have a lot of sharks here.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. We don't have as many sharks here. We would love more, but there's quite a prolific shark fin trade, which unfortunately means that there aren't as many sharks alive as would be desirable. But that's pretty amazing that you get to dive with all those amazing animals.
Yes.
Do you scuba dive?
Yes.
Do you scuba dive? Yeah. Did you learn when you were out there, or did you already scuba dive before you?
I've done some, like, I don't know, the beginner ones, when I was traveling around, but here I passed my level 1 and I'm going to pass my level 2 next month.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, not a bad place to learn.
Yeah, I mean, my first dive after passing my level 1 was to dive with tiger shark and hammerhead shark. So I was
Wow.
like, yeah, insane.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm learning to free dive at the moment, and I've got to go back to the UK into cold water in a month or so, and I think I'm going to try and get all the free diving done in the warm water before I have to go back. Okay, and then to balance out your favorite part, what's your least favorite part of your job?
Always accounting, finance, admin stuff. Like, I hate Excel. Like, it's super practical. I know that. But each time I receive an Excel for budget and stuff, I'm like, no, I don't want that. So yeah, accounting. And okay, sometimes like the more general things, I think all NGOs know that. Sometimes you're like, are we gonna really save the reefs? So you have kind of sometimes those moments where like, is it really gonna happen? Are gonna people change their habits and stuff? So sometimes you have the down, but then it goes up again. So those small moments, you're like, oh, okay.
I think it's working in the environmental world in general, because it's such like a big, like the environmental issues that we face in the world today are the biggest environmental issues that we've ever faced. So it can be exhausting working in this space and hoping that your work is going to pay off in the long run environmentally. So it's always a very difficult one. Okay, and what's your best experience ever in the ocean?
I think, I think it was so Tikehau. It's another island in French Polynesia. So it's where I dive with actually tiger shark and hammerhead shark. So we had this in the morning, so amazing. I was super happy and so on. And then we took a boat with a friend called Denis. And so we were out, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to go in the ocean, like not stay on the reef inside the atoll?" And we were like, "Okay, let's go." So then we go outside. So first of all, insane views, deep blue, and so on. And then we see a school of globicephal, like the dolphins. And he was like, "Do you want to jump in?" And I was like, "Yeah." But first of all, I'm not a big fan of the deep blue. And then behind the globicephal, you usually have what we call here the parata. I don't know what's the English word, but it's like a shark that can actually attack you. So I was like, "Do I really want to go?" But I really want to go. And then I did go. And then this moment where you're into the deep blue in French Polynesia, freaking out, but like super excited. And then you see the school of dolphins like passing under you. Like they have those global, I don't know, heads. This was like breathtaking. I was like, I'm going to cry in my mask. So yeah, this was really amazing. And I would say also the first time I swam with a whale. It was actually like 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
Do you know what type of whale it was?
Yes. It was a humpback whale.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we have humpbacks here as well. They're so amazing.
Like, and it was with the baby, with the calf. Like, you're still far because you cannot go too close. But like when you see this like underwater and they're just here playing, you're like, okay, insane.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we also had a question around like careers. And do you have any tips for anyone like looking to get into a similar career, like science communication or marketing and social media, that kind of thing? Do you have any tips for anyone who wants to get into that?
Yeah. So I would say use all the digital tools to get to know at least the basics. If you have a special expertise like me, like it could be accounting or finance, like an expertise you can apply to different branches, then don't be afraid to just go to different NGOs and be like, listen, this is my expertise. Do you need help? You need to accept that maybe you start remote, that your salary is going to be divided by 2, 3, 4. But if you really, really want to work in this field and you have this general knowledge and a specific expertise, you can make it happen. just reach out to people. It's going to be no, 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 no. But maybe once it's going to be yes, you could help us part-time or something. So I think it actually works. And then if you're really an expert in the field, then I know less about how to reach your goal, but I know it's a field that's usually hiring lately. So I hope everyone can find it.
Yeah, be persistent and keep
Yeah.
asking everybody if they
Yeah.
have any positions available, because something will come up eventually.
Networking is key. Like someone can know someone who knows someone. It's really
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, definitely. And not necessarily network events, because COVID has stopped a lot of networking events, but you can just network. Everyone is reachable through Instagram these days. So networking that way is also useful too, I guess. Okay, so that was the end of the questions that we got submitted beforehand. Anyone watching now, if you have any questions, you can type them in the comment box, and then Instagram's has also got a little question box that you can submit questions in as well. And then we've got our quick fire questions too, which, if you're ready, we can jump into.
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So for people that don't know what our quickfire questions are, they're basically just, I think it's 11 questions that we ask all of our guests every week. And they're just fun, silly questions, not necessarily related to marine conservation, but they help us get to know our guest a little bit better. So, first question, favourite ocean creature?
Dolphins.
Nice. Favourite day of the week?
Saturday.
Plastic-free or eco product that you can't live without?
It's like a bag made of from Parley for the ocean, and I always have one with me, and it's like super practical every single day.
Yeah, reusable bags. Favorite beach in the world?
I would say I have two. The one next to my place here because it's gorgeous, and one in Pornic, Pornic, which is in France near Brittany, because it's where I grew with my grandparents. So love it.
Nice. What's the beach where you live now called?
It's called Tiaia. It's Tiaia. And it's on the island, and it's exactly what you can imagine, like white sand, palm trees, and it's where I meditate every morning at sunrise. So it's like my safe space.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sounds pretty blissful. Okay. Last song you listened to?
So fun fact, I'm a lot into techno music. Like I love that. I can party for hours.
Wow.
I really enjoy the burning life and so on. So yesterday I listened to, it's called Circle. It's like a collective that does amazing sets all around the world. And it was a set from Mome, Mome. Great set.
Cool. I don't think I've ever listened to techno, but I'll look that song up.
And so it's called Circle, the collective Cercle, and they do DJ sets like in insane places. So just have a look at the places; it's worth it.
Okay, I'll check it out. Do you prefer dolphins or sharks?
Well, dolphins.
And what's your favorite holiday?
Summer holiday in family at home.
Nice. And would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to speak to animals?
Animals, so I can say what they want to tell us, I would say.
Dr. Dolittle. Everyone wants to be Dr. Dolittle. As a superpower, teleportation or breathing underwater?
Teleportation.
Nice. Yeah, someone pointed out the other day that you could teleport up to take a breath and then teleport back down. So technically you can get around the breathing underwater thing.
Really good one. I love that.
What book would you take with you onto a desert island?
I have a book with Ashtanga and all the sutra in yoga. So I think like a yoga learning book, philosophy or something.
Yeah. And what's the first thing that I actually don't know what the status of French Polynesia is with like Corona and stuff, but when things get back to normal, what's the first thing that you're going to do?
I really, really want to go back to India to do a 300 hours. So yeah, India.
Nice travel. What is the status like? What's going on in French Polynesia? Are you guys on lockdown, or is it open? Or
it's open. It's one of the only country in the world where I think every single nationality can come. And then we have to respect the barrier gests and so on. Yeah, it's just like security, sanitary security, but it's open and we cannot have parties and so on, but restaurants are open. Yeah. We're really lucky compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, smaller population as well, so I guess hopefully less spread. Okay, and then last question, why do you love the oceans?
Because we cannot live without it. Like it gives us so much, the air we breathe and animals, and yeah, it's essential. Yeah. It is and gorgeous for sure.
Very beautiful. Lots of aesthetic value there as well. Okay, cool. So do you have any upcoming projects or anything that you want to talk about before we wrap up? And if anyone has any questions as well, you can submit them now and we'll get to them.
Sure. Yeah, just like if you want to help in any way, you'll find a way. Like there are no excuses. It can be locally, it can be just share content on social media, it can be adopt a coral, it can be adopt a whale. Like everyone can act and help. And if we all do small steps with carbon footprint, plastic use, like I really hope we can all have an impact. So don't look for excuses, go for it, even small steps. And if you want to help coral gardeners, the adoption is the best way. So it's on our website. So this is also an option you can choose. But yeah, I really want everyone to try to go for it.
Can people reach Coral Gardeners? Instagram is just Coral Gardeners, right?
Yeah, at Coral Gardeners.
Okay, cool. So people can just reach that.
Coral Gardeners.
Okay, perfect. And anyone watching that missed part of this or anything and wants to rewatch this, then this is going to be available on our IGTV afterwards, like immediately afterwards, and then we're also going to put it onto our YouTube. So we'll put it on our stories when that's available on YouTube. So feel free to go back and watch anything that you might have missed. And in your top left-hand corner, I think it is, with people watching, you should be able to click on both accounts and give us both a follow to keep up to date on everything Coral Gardeners and Love the Oceans. But thank you so much for sparing the time to chat, MC. It's been so nice to talk to you and
nice talking to you.
See your amazing place that you live. So, yeah, very lucky. Have a great day and enjoy it.
Thank you. Have a great evening and good luck for the comeback to England and all the best.
Thank you. Thanks. Ciao.
Bye.